I've walked into a room full of it and
Ooh.
did a mission where literally like guys were doing their thing in the tree line, and we had to go in there and take care of that. It was a
Well, that first time before you go to Ranger School, you said you had 2 deployments, and they were both to Iraq.
yeah.
So the first one's what, like 04?
05.
05?
05 was going into 06, yeah.
Okay, so the insurgency has popped off.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's a mess.
Yeah.
But you thought you were like going to be going down into Vietnam, and
Oh yeah.
you
That's
landed
all the
calmly.
books that I read growing up, which weren't many, but the ones that I did read were all like Vietnam based. The MARSOC guys, or not the MARSOC, it's the SOG, the SOG guys in Vietnam. They were like my inspiration. They were the only guys who like had books about, Vietnam. Then I read stuff about Carlos Hathcock and the Marine Sniper and a few other books about Vietnam. So my perceptive or my perspective of what war was just, Vietnam. I was of course training with guys in Ranger Battalion, but it was I don't know. You don't really know what to expect until you get there, and all the training in the world is not gonna like,
Right.
Simulate combat. So, I didn't expect to be raiding schools and stuff like that in Iraq, but you would train in old rundown schools stateside to practice, room clearing and taking over compounds. And like the Ranger specialty primarily is to take over an airfield. So, you jump in, take over an airfield, secure it, and move on from there. Not one time did I ever have to, secure an airfield overseas.
Mm.
They were all, little houses here, complexes here. They were never, anything in that nature. So what I thought war was going to be was totally different. But yeah, we landed in Iraq, and like there were McDonald's or little fast food shops, coffee bean places, and stuff like that. It was
You're
totally
like, this ain't
different.
Saigon.
Yeah,
Fuck.
far from it. Far from it. You didn't find out until you went outside the wire, and even then, it wasn't what I expected.
It's more urban warfare
Very,
in
very.
Iraq, like pretty much across the country, no?
Yeah, all urban. I didn't do anything. Like Iraq and Afghanistan were almost night and day. Iraq was all urban, and at least you could see the enemy, for the most part, unless they were using like IEDs or whatever. But Afghanistan, it was like fighting ghosts, though. It was rare you saw someone, for the most part.
Yeah.
Rare.
A lot of tree lines, small tucked away villages, mountains.
Mountains, yeah. Wide open fields. And, dude, they've been fighting in that land since, forever. So it's
What do they
different.
say about it? It's like that's where empires fall.
Yeah, come to die or whatever it is. Yeah.
Didn't like I might be making this up, but maybe it was like Alexander the Great like worked his way around
See,
Afghanistan
now that you
or something
said
like that?
something like that, now my mind's thinking about it.
Can we Google that, Alessi? Alexander the Great, what did he do vis-a-vis Afghanistan? He might have battled through it, but there's something that goes back to someone
Yeah.
like him,
Yeah,
like way
yeah.
back then. That like
Well,
every time people try to fuck around, they find out.
Saw this on the History Channel, man. My mind's drawing a blank. Yeah.
We got anything? All right, let's see. Alexander's campaign in Afghanistan was a part of his war against the Persian Empire. He entered the territories that are now Afghanistan after his victory over the Persian Empire in 331 and 330. However, his plan to use the territories as a highway to India failed due to strong resistance
go.
from the Afghan
Yeah.
tribes. I didn't make it up.
Even he had a hard time, or
Dude.
didn't want to mess with that, which is weird. I did not expect Afghanistan to even be like that, though. Like from its appearance and the people that you see there, you would have no idea that they are willing to fight this thing out for decades.
What about the appearance of the people gives no idea about that?
Skinny, frail, malnutrition. I'm not trying to be mean, but their intellect, I think, was a little off to me. Their belief system and just they knew one thing, and it was just basically how to fight or how to survive. And even talking to we worked with some Afghan guys over there, and it was just their culture was far different of men were for pleasure and women for reproduction. So it was.
Where'd we hear that one? Yeah, you'll remember it later. Someone else said that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird culture, and you see weird stuff based around what I just said of men being for pleasure, and yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, I heard the word boys where you said
boys.
men.
There you go, boys. Yeah, T-boys or chai boys, whatever we call them. Yeah.
Now you got it, Leslie. Now it came upstairs. Yeah. There's.
I've walked into a room full of it and
Ooh.
did a mission where literally like guys were doing their thing in the tree line, and we had to go in there and take care of that. It was a weird sight to see.
Ooh. All right. Well, we're gonna be
pulling guys apart.
Ooh. All right, we're gonna be getting all into Afghanistan, but back to Iraq just to cover that because that was the beginning. Mm-hmm. One of the things you talk about is like people make these legends of people and start to exaggerate some things. So you're very clear in your book exactly where your numbers are and stuff like that. But you had to do your first kill on your first deployment in Iraq.
Yeah,
what happened there? Guys, if you're still watching this video and you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, please take 2 seconds and go hit it right now. Thank you.
50 cal machine gunner. So I started off in battalion as an assaulter. I was a 203 guy, grenade launcher. Went on to weapon squad where it's like all the heavy weapons. You have your 50 cal machine gun, your 240 machine guns, your Mark 48s, and all the big machine gun stuff. Being a 50 cal machine gunner on top of a striker, which is another piece of equipment we use, it's like a 40-ton vehicle, has 8 wheels, 4 on each side. It's like a tank on wheels. I was a gunner for that and a driver for it. For this particular mission, I was a gunner, and during that time, it was a curfew. People were not, allowed to be outside during a certain time, and as time had elapsed, and we see a vehicle like veering towards a convoy that I was in, and me being the lead vehicle and the gunner, I had a PO with me, I believe, and he's telling me to engage this guy. The car was like way down in the back, a lot of weight in it. I had no idea what a vehicle-borne IED was or how they used them or what to look out for. He's telling me to engage this car. And in my mind, I'm looking at him like, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't think, to shoot someone. I always thought my combat experience was going to be a blaze of glory. Your first kill, you're getting shot at, big firefight, and you have to kill someone. Not we're just cruising downtown, or not cruising downtown. It was, we just got done doing an operation, taking some prisoners back. And like as the sun is coming up, you see a vehicle start to pick up speed and come straight towards our convoy. And your commander's like, hey, light this guy up. And it takes a while. And he slaps me on the helmet. He's like, light this fucker up now. And I did. Pulled the trigger on it, butterfly trigger, and skipped the rounds from the hood of his car all the way through him. Like a good 9-round burst. And car went all, sideways and veered towards us or past us. And we stopped, got out. They investigated the vehicle, popped open the trunk, and he had these old artillery rounds, like wired all together in there. And that was like their shtick back then. Artillery wired to chlorine, I believe, to make like a chlorine bomb. And yeah, shot that guy. It was the first one I ever killed.
But you didn't know until they confirmed it going to the car to check him out because he was in the car.
Yeah.
Right?
So when they opened the car, that's where I could see what had happened to him, what a good amount of 50 caliber rounds to do to someone. I just saw, from my perspective, I saw sparks, and red-ish, pinkish mist, I guess. Mm-hmm. But when they popped open the car, it was just like not even half a human. It was a disfigured human, like jelly a little bit.
Yeah. Can you even process that like right in the moment when you've got that confirmed, or are you still just very much
I was
in mode?
Yeah, still like rushing off the wow, I just shot my first weapon overseas in combat. It wasn't like, it was hard to. I didn't think it was going to go down that way. I thought I was going to be getting shot at or something, not just a guy who wants to, use his car like a torpedo. But I lived off that high and just up until I got back. It was a weird experience. I did not. This is not how I expected it to go down. So it was just weird to kind of put that all together. But it was weird when I got back, though.
How long was that deployment? Like
90 days.
90 days.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was like the one time there where there was action. The rest of it was you're basically out in convoys, checking places out, and you didn't have to take action?
Every day was action. We did
There was
120 missions in 90 days. We killed, I forgot, like 1,000-something guys. The most we've ever killed in a deployment was like 1,900 in a 3-month time span. So it's every day is action. Every day is action. I might not be, pulling the trigger on all those missions or operations. It's a lot of the
that's where I misunderstood.
Yeah, the assaulters and stuff like that. They are, but like every day was a pretty hectic day. Yeah.
Did you lose any guys during that first one?
Not from my platoon. We lost somebody from another platoon. I was first platoon. We had first platoon, second platoon, and third platoon. Somebody from, I believe, second platoon died. And maybe somebody else from third platoon. A couple of guys did die. Yeah. I just did not know them directly. I know they were in them, Ranger Battalion, and we might have, passed each other going to chow or something like that, going to eat, but I didn't know him personally, though.
So you don't have there's not like that straight line connection yet to like how real it gets when you or anyone else can go down out there.
Yeah. I didn't see that yet firsthand. We felt like, or to me, it felt like my platoon was just the untouchable platoon made of like little gods, man. We were just untouchable.
It's a dangerous feeling.
Big time. Because when it happens, it makes it worse too.
And again, you're still 18 at the time. Your cerebral, what is it, the prefrontal cortex or whatever?
Not developed yet.
Not developed at all.
No.
So you don't even have like a...
No. And we're doing stuff like this, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's now it's crazy to you, but at the time, did you have any appreciation for that?
No, at the time, I mean, I felt like I was a grown man. Like, I felt like I was more of a... It's going to sound weird, like more of a man than my dad, or like at my dad's level a little bit. It felt like that at that time because I was doing stuff my dad never got a chance to do,
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here